Everybody, we are live. Amazing. I was chatting with you guys right before we went live, and as you could see, I'm still here in Florida. So here's my situation. So I'm here by my parents, and I was offered a connecting flight home tomorrow. And I don't think it's the right move. I think that if I take the connecting flight home, I'll get stuck at the connection. I would much rather be stuck here rather than in some foreign city that I have to probably get a hotel at. So that's my 2 cents right now about the flight home. I'm hoping everybody's faring pretty well with the amount of snow they got. Business seems to, especially in the e-commerce world, to be taking a hit. Our numbers as far as, so there's an average of how much of our margin goes to acquiring a customer. We call that average cost of sale. The average cost of sale that goes towards advertising went up yesterday alone from 20 to 30%. So a full 150% increase just because of the increased handling times that are being shown across the country. So that's a little insider baseball on what's going on in the e-commerce industry. At least I'm making the most of it here, right? I found the conference I wasn't supposed to go to, but I'm able to make it today. And without further ado, let's get to work, right? Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed my video from yesterday. Like I said, I plan on making it really about something either maybe Greenland, maybe Shapiro related, Walls related. With the unfolding of the second shooting in Minneapolis, I go back to what I said, I guess a few weeks ago here. What in the world is going on in Minneapolis? Why is it this one city in this one state happens, and I say that in air quotes, to be Walls? Walls suspends his re-election campaign. I mean, is there something unique about Minneapolis? Or is the Trump administration or is the press just picking on Minnesota? It seems to be a really wild town. Second, or moving on from that, I said to myself, let me go ahead and review what is going on. I want to see, I'm like, I guess the rest of you, holding judgment, holding conclusive judgments on what happened. Was it a murder? Was it not? Was it excessive force? Was it justified? Was it not? And like the first killing, I'm not seeing that there was definitive evidence one way or the other. What I am seeing, like the last time, is chaos and confusion between federal authorities, state authorities, and the press. So I was watching some of the coverage. CNN was saying their analysis says that there was no brandishing of the firearm, or the gun was in the holster, something like that. And then you have DHS coming out before anybody saying that an armed man was killed in a matter of self-defense of ICE officers. So, and then, like I said in my video, all it took was another half a second later for the Democrats, almost all of them who came out to say we won't fund the government next week, which was supposed to, or this week really, which was supposed to sail through after I think everybody came out with egg on their face after the last one, after the Democrats didn't get what they wanted. So what do we shut down for? But I will say, some of the comments on my video were, I don't care how long this shutdown is, we're losing every right in this country. So perhaps I'm not alone thinking that shutdowns are that unpopular. I want to hit on a few more of the headlines for today, at least how I think of them. In good promise to you guys, I wanted to give a little more of my time to seeing what's going on in the NFL. So I watched a little bit of football, and my God, the Broncos game in Colorado was completely snow-driven. That was something. They were playing in blizzard-like conditions. It was something to watch. I'm sort of happy to see, let's say, Republicans like Tom Tillis are calling for some sort of accountability when it comes to ICE's job. Like I said in yesterday's video, it's about time some Republicans step up and say, listen, ICE might have been justified one or both times, but it's time that some accountability is being spoken for here. Either there's a couple of headlines that Michael put in his newsletter. Congress or the administration itself need to act. Something needs to happen. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. It's sort of refreshing to see that there are common sense Republicans out there. I do wonder what the Obamas think, condemning ISIS tactics. Obama was pretty aggressive in deporting people, so I wonder if his position is consistent with his actions during his presidency. I don't see how he can't be. And sort of interestingly, when it came to firearms, when we discussed it last stream, the firearm of Alex Preddy was a SIG P320. Some gun experts are saying that the SIG Sauer was known for accidental discharges. What a mistiming or a bad timing for an accidental discharge when you're approaching federal ICE officers. Like I said, there's very little conclusive evidence either direction in this killing, just like there was for the last one. So I don't know how people can really make judgments so rash. And I've also yet to see any nuance in Schumer's proposal to shut down the government minus DHS funding. You cannot strip the entire Department of Homeland Security of funding. Maybe you can target certain programs, but strip the entire DHS of funding? That's it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And like I said in my video, imagine he said something constructive like, we're going to shut down the government until we pass this bipartisan immigration reform. Maybe I'd even be for that. Maybe. I don't know, but I mean, that's more of a productive threat or a productive shutdown, isn't it? That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents. People who are getting clicks and viewers on, well, let me respond to Nancy Lawrence's. Whoops, Nancy Lawrence. So Nancy, it don't get me wrong, it gets clicks, but those people, the people who click on it, and the people who parrot those talking points, not what we are here for, right? It's just a. Are you sure, guys? Am I coming through? Hamilton's not seeing some video here. Okay. Robert, you know what? I forgot about that. Schumer's using the Republican playbook when they were saying defund the Justice Department. That's, in fact, I forgot about that. And it doesn't mean that it's the right tactic, because I would not be for defunding an entire department either. You can even say, when it comes to the Department of Education, the Republicans long wanted to close it down. I don't think you should defund the whole department. If you want to terminate it, terminate it. So that's my general take. And I believe, I remember learning in high school political science, Ronald Reagan just ignored the whole department. I guess that's the closest they're coming. But I don't get why they just, if the Republicans really want to close it, just close it. What is their issue there? I have no idea. Nancy, that's my general take on that. The shutdown hurts regular people. The shutdown hurts people of all shapes and sizes. People who are on food stamps, people who are looking to get a passport for their newborn. Put it this way. I work in a very EBT food stamp heavy area. And during the last shutdown, I saw the decreased volume of people in the stores. I hazard to say, because they wanted to save their EBT credits and use it sparsely, not all at once. They didn't know if it was going to be replenished. It was very illuminating to see how people are so in tune to the news that affect them, that while litigation was happening around EBT and food stamps disbursements, they were so on top of the news, like we are POTUS 124 listeners. I guess they literally, their life depends on it. It was something to watch. Let's go back with some comments. Tammy, people are saying that he was brandishing a firearm and he was acting stupid around federal law enforcement. I don't see it. I don't see it. Harvey. It looks like a broken record that keeps repeating as a country going nowhere until we pick up the needle and remove its contact with the record surface. Listen, I think you're talking about ICE's behavior, ICE's behavior and actions. We are going nowhere if there's no accountability in our government. Ultimately, Trump's at the top. It's Trump at the head of the federal government, and he is supreme over all the other elements of government. I'm talking federal, state, local. He has no interest in cooperating with Minnesota or Minneapolis, nor does he have to. Who he does have to answer to are the voters when we have a say, which I guess is the midterms, and I guess a subsequent election. My question is, how much can ICE and the legitimacy, how can, let me rephrase. How can the lack of legitimacy towards ICE impact ICE's operations? Technically, they don't have to change, and there aren't going to be any repercussions on the executive branch for another 3 years. Does the lack of legitimacy shorten that span from 3 years to anything less? At the very least, there should be accountability. That was the point of my video yesterday, and that's where I'm really coming from, as far as that latest killing, for sure. Now, M. Caroni. Now, you see, I'm sorry, guys. I refer to you guys as your handles because I don't know who wants to be identified and who doesn't. So I just read out your handles. I did look into whether there was a body cam footage available in Minneapolis. And to my research, there is body cam footage, but it hasn't been released. That's according to the sources I found. I don't know of anything further than that, but that is from the sources I found. To my knowledge, it could be subpoenaed. It could be subpoenaed. Now, will it be turned over? Let's just say the last subpoena Trump got didn't turn out too well. Bob, wishing you all the best. Oh, that's a funny comment. Okay. What else we got? Harvey, say what you want about the Democrats. At least they're attempting to do something with what limited power they have. Harvey, yeah, but there's a way to do it, right? Like I said, you can shut down the government for bipartisan immigration reform. And why the hell not? Throw in the Medicaid cuts. And then with the spiraling support of ICE and, in my opinion, the GOP, you're actually slated for a progressive, in the literal sense, and improved use of the shutdown. Then you're accomplishing something. If you're shutting down the government, if you're shutting down the government simply because you want to defund an entire department that's called Homeland Security, it doesn't look too good for you, number one. Number two, when you're being known as and behaved as the open border party, doesn't look too good. Don't look too good. Let's see what else we got coming our way. Desert Sunset, Arctic Fox. Minnesota is handing off criminal in their jails. They always have. Gonna need more context to respond to that. It's too loaded. It's too loaded for me to look at. Now, Pete, all I ask for you in that comment, ICE took the gun before shooting Preddy. I've seen reports like that. But nothing conclusive. I mean, DHS obviously is not saying that. Are we in a world where I can't believe DHS nor the media because they're biased? And again, I'm reserving judgment here. Nothing is conclusive, to my knowledge. If I missed something, please feel free to send me an email. I'll look at it. I've been going back and forth with Rise, actually, over, I hope I'm saying your name right, over some Denmark stuff, so that's pretty cool. I'm making something too complicated. I just lost the comment here. Someone was saying I'm making it too complicated. All right, missed that comment. Let's look for another one. Oh, here we go. I read that the scene was already cleared and local authorities were not permitted to be there for that. Talking to Tammy. And where's the footage from Preddy's phone? I don't know if Preddy's phone was rolling. Was it rolling? That'll be huge. Yeah. And oh, this is interesting. This is Sunset Arctic Fox. A judge has to order that ICVP not destroy the evidence from the shooting. Says all about the regime. Did they? Did they? I didn't see an order like that to preserve the evidence. I guess that's what it's done in litigation terms, right? That was a former life of mine. preserve the evidence. I mean, that is pretty daunting. That is pretty daunting because I guess they could technically destroy the evidence and not be accountable at all, even under subpoena power. That's pretty sad in my opinion, but that's the world we live in. Valerie Fitzgerald. One thing about it is don't lie to me and tell me I didn't see what I saw. This incident reminds me of a cheating spouse. The thing is, we saw a whole bunch of things without being able to conclude something. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Tammy, I'm with you. How many people have to be killed before the midterms? Well, I'll tell you what. If Democrats teamed up with common sense Republicans, a la what happened with the Epstein files, that's how you can pass targeted legislation calling for a different approach to ICE training. And that's how you can, I guess, address at least some lessen death before the midterms. There are those common sense Republicans that can put the Democratic normal bills, by normal I mean not radical, over the top. Bipartisan immigration reform, the Epstein files, very common sense, even going against the Trump tide. And now that ICE and supporters of Trump are going against the ICE tide, I guess that's plausible, right? That's what we pay Congress to do. Okay, Noam, I think is a ding dong because it took her half a second last time to say that what's her name? Good was a domestic terrorist, and even now it's just she's so quick to loaded terms, ridiculous. What else we have? M. Caroni, definitely fabrication of facts. Not disputing that. Huh. You don't already know what Caroline Levitt is going to say? Drinking game each time urban terrorist is said. There are other phrases you can use as well. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's so predictable what pretty much everyone across the aisle is going to say. Kyle Cheney has great... Kyle Cheney reported on this. He has great links in his social media. Feel free to go. Let me know if there's something I should take a look at. The political theater is what Walz is doing. Well, let me tell you what Walz... I don't know why this is not showing. Sorry, guys. This is Nancy Lawrence's comment. It's not really cooperating with me here. Here we go. What Walz and Mayor Fry are doing, I think they're doing what a mayor and governor are supposed to do. They're seeing their citizens getting gunned down in the streets by federal officials, and they're telling the federal officials to get out because they claim they're doing their job and they have order in their city. Like I've been saying for the past few weeks, is there disorder in Minneapolis, or are we making it seem like there's disorder, however that may be? But the political theater, I think, sure, it's happening because of Mayor Fry, who's not actually being constructive in his rhetoric. Governor Walz, who isn't being constructive either, as well as the Trump administration. They're not being constructive either. Welcome to 2026, where no government official actually wants to get something done. They just need theater. Let's see what else there is. All right, press conference with Levitt at 1 p.m. Let's see. Hamilton, Watch the news this morning. You cannot dispute the sequence of events. I don't think the sequence of events are up for dispute. Perhaps the details. I mean, I'll read in further on it to see what the facts say, but I haven't really been seeing any conclusive sequence based on evidence, really. I mean, because like I was saying, I can't believe the DHS, I can't believe the press, and I don't know what to believe. I've been seeing too much conflict and too much bias. And I think this is a really sad comment. How about letting Minnesota investigate? We won't be able to trust anything come out of the feds. No, I wouldn't trust anything coming out of Minnesota. What you need is an independent investigation, something like a special counsel that is not really answerable to almost anyone and has unlimited subpoena power, and someone people have to answer to. That's what you need. And perhaps, if I don't know how cohesive it would be, but to merge it between federal and state officials, make it a joint investigation in that regard. But it can't be seen as a Minnesota-led investigation or a federally led investigation. You need some semblance of independence, and it's so sad that the state of Minnesota wouldn't be viewed as a neutral and straightforward investigation, and it's so sad that a federal investigation would fall under the same umbrella. Guys, a couple more comments, and then I have to wrap it up. M. Caroni, Velshi had a video sequence. When you say Velshi, you have to look at it through that kind of lens. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, but it has to be viewed through a lens. Good idea with a special counsel. Yeah, I mean, it's going to ultimately require Trump to appoint one, right? But something like that. Sean, man can dream, right? A man can dream. So here we go with that. Falcon Steph, be safe. Be safe is right. And let's end it off with Sean's comment. Government officials want to get things done. They want to get themselves reelected, nothing more, nothing less. I don't agree with the first statement. Sometimes they don't want to get things done. So they all want to get reelected. Sometimes they just don't want to get things done. But one thing for sure, if they worked towards moderation, nuance, and constructive outcomes in our country, hey, we'd be a lot happier of a place, wouldn't we be? So, guys, wish me the best as far as my travels, my business. Let me know your thoughts on yesterday's video, today's stream even. And of course, keep the feedback coming. I want it to be as open as I can to you. Opinions are mine alone. Wish me the best in my travel endeavors. So with that, have a great day. Everybody stay safe and enjoy what you can, whatever conditions you find yourself in this great country and this great world. See you Wednesday. I'll let you know if travel impacts it. Bye, guys.